So, I bet you have watched 100 of those media reset videos by now, and you wonder, why can't you reset your year or your life? Or why don't they click? Well, it's because majority of those videos are not tailored for a Muslimah. Majority of that content is not entirely tailored for a Muslim girl's lifestyle. You see, our lifestyle as Muslimas, most of us, is slightly different than other girls of the internet. And it had to be this way because Alhamdulillah, I was born Muslim. And if you are a revert, then Alhamdulillah too, you are a Muslim now, and it has to be this way. You see, my reset is not just about my health, my career, my finances, my workouts, my social life, my relationships, my this, my that. My reset is also about my deen, my Salah, my Quran, my character, my morals, my dhikr, my sins, my rewards, my niyyah, intentions, my responsibilities, my akhirah. Apparently, my reset is not just about waking up at 5 a.m, drinking a green smoothie, going for a jog, working on my career, a little bit social, a little bit here and there. It's slightly more than that. What am I doing to see Allah in every situation? What am I doing to carry deen and dunya at a healthy balance? In this video, we are going to discuss how you can do a mid-year reset in the most simple, effective, realistic and practical way, no matter what walk of life you're from. Whether you are an accountancy student, you are becoming a doctor, a lawyer, a content creator, you're a housewife, you just sit at home and simply follow your hobbies, or you do nothing and you just procrastinate about what you should do in life. Yes, this video is also for those. It is not just for those who created New Year's resolutions. It is also for those who have no idea where they are heading towards with life. No matter what you do, no matter what walk of life you are from, we are going to go through the most simple and fail-proof mid-year reset, and that too tailored for a Muslimah. Well, we are not just going to take a pen and a paper, write a few prompts, answer a few questions, and boom, your reset is done. We are going to dig deep. We are going to take a dive and create this method, this 100% fail-proof structure, the most realistic, practical and simplest method which is going to stick around in the long run. A long-term commitment for you. The mid-year reset I did this year was very different. It was extremely easy and surprisingly it was the best out of all the years that I did a mid-year reset. Well, some years I simply just didn't do a mid-year reset, which is even more mind-boggling because girl, if you are not tracking yourself, then what are you doing? We are going to talk about tracking yourself a little bit later in the video, but I can't even imagine. I didn't track myself, but I had aspirations in the beginning of the year. I had goals in the beginning of the year, but then I didn't even track my vision board that I have over here. What was I doing? But then in the years that I did do a mid-year reset, this was the best, wallahi, okay? So here's how you're going to do it. Think of reset as radical honesty, evidence gathering, set new standards, execute, and traction. So for radical honesty, oh, and by the way, this whole layout of doing reset in this way and this whole idea, the metaphors, everything, I did not come up with it. I got inspiration from Jill's, and if not all, I have watched quite a few videos of her, and honestly her videos really help ground me. They are simple and to the point, and whenever I follow her strategies, I know that I am going to make the hit. For radical honesty, the first question that you're going to ask yourself is, what am I pretending not to know? So basically, what is it that you are aware of which is stopping you and it is wrong, but you are just pushing it to the side? For me, I wrote that I'm pretending not to know, and maybe it could be the same for you. I am pretending not to know that every time I plan on something, I get excited, hold on to lots of resolutions, commitments, goals, and big plans, huge blueprints. I'm planning a lot, but eventually, really things come closer to execution. I am pretending not to know that dopamine strikes high and then drops to the ground, setting complicated and unrealistic commitments all at once. I have been there, I have done that. I mean, there were times when I've set plans and resolutions with so much of drive, so much of passion, but at some point I did give up. At some point I could not keep up to it because of how complicated it was, or because of what a blueprint it was of someone else's life, someone else's routine, and not what fits around me, my life, my priorities, my emotions, my way of functioning. It was either someone else's life, someone else's routine, or maybe it was mine, but then it was super complicated. It was not simple. And you see, whenever something is not simple, it is not going to work. If it has worked for you, I mean, you are that person who has stuck around things for a long term, then please let us know about yourself and about your journey in the comments. We would love to take inspiration from you. Second question of radical honesty, how might I be benefiting from staying stuck? Because think about it. If you are pushing something to the side and you are pretending not to know, that means you are gaining some sort of benefit from it. You are not just pushing it to the side and pretending not to know just for the sake of doing it. You are gaining something from it, and that's why you are pushing it to the side. So for me, I wrote, I'm benefiting with the comfort of my distractions. It was not just phone or social media. I would just randomly get up during my time block and go have random conversations with my mother, for example. I follow the time blocking method to schedule my day. So let's say from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. I have to do this certain task. Why am I getting up in this window of 9 to 12 and go have random conversations with my mother? Whereas I know that later on in the evening, I will have room to go have random conversations with my mother. So why am I getting up in this time slot of 9 to 12? Secondly, it was daydreaming. I would just sit and have long dreams, constantly checking my phone, constantly going on social media. I wrote that I'm overcoming the anxiety of relationships or whatever I'm struggling with. I wrote that I'm overcoming the anxiety of that thing by scrolling on YouTube or scrolling on social media, because it just feels safer than studying. It just feels safer than editing content that I need to post. Third question is, what is expired but you are just afraid to accept it? Meaning, what is no more working out but you are just afraid to name it? I wrote, expired is that if I don't perform Fajr, I won't perform other Salahs, in return not doing my daily Azkar for Baraka and blessings, and losing my entire connection with Allah. I'm afraid to accept that if I don't perform Fajr, I don't need to give up on other things. So what was happening with me was, if I would miss Fajr, girls, you know, after your menstrual cycle, it's a bit hard to keep up to your Salahs, not on purpose, but astaghfirullah. So whenever I would miss Fajr, I would have the tendency to miss my other Salahs, to miss my Surah Yasin in the morning, to miss my Surah Mulk, which is to save me from the punishment of the grave. If I missed Fajr, I would miss everything else on top of that. So if I miss Fajr in the morning, inshallah I don't, but if I do, I simply don't need to miss anything else on top of that. This concept has expired. For me, this concept has expired. Another thing which I wrote has expired, but I'm afraid to accept, is something personal, so I'm not going to mention it, but of course you write what has expired for you. Lastly, ask yourself, where am I accepting a 6 out of 10 life because it feels safer than asking for a 10 out of 10. So for example, you do something which is 6 out of 10. Not bad, but you could have a 10 out of 10. You just do the 6 out of 10 because it feels safer or easier than asking for a 10 out of 10. I wrote, making quick fix recipes, quick fix pastas, noodles is a 6 out of 10. But it feels safer than healthier meals, which is a 10 out of 10. For you, it could be something else. Then comes evidence gathering. For my evidence gathering, I wrote, actually I started studies this year, and I never thought that I'm going to be doing this at this point of life because it's just so different, and I never really thought about it. But the hardest part was actually starting, and now I just need to carry on doing what I'm already doing. I wrote that, imagine if I was just stuck in deciding whether or not I should go ahead. I mean, this year is 7 months down the line and I would have still been stuck in deciding. But Alhamdulillah, I have reached somewhere along with that goal, and I have reached somewhere praiseworthy and rewarding with that goal. I have started studies which my younger self would be really proud of and my future self would be grateful for. Secondly, I started YouTube, and I never thought this was going to happen so soon because I grew to 1,000 subscribers in about 3 to 4 weeks, and for me, it's kind of a big deal. I'm really grateful to you girls, and I really love you girls for this. So writing evidence gathering showed me that I am in the momentum of taking action this year, creating new standards for myself. I just need a more disciplined, consistent, action-based, simple structure to carry on what I'm already doing. Your evidence gathering is going to look completely different than mine, but you need to do evidence gathering. Maybe your evidence gathering is going to show you that you need to get into the momentum of taking action. Or maybe your evidence gathering is going to be like me, and it's going to show you that you are already in the momentum of taking action. You just need a more consistent action-based plan like me. Then set new standards. You don't get your goals, you get your standards. Always remember, you don't get in life what you say you want, you get in life what you deem as a non-negotiable. Meaning, You don't get in life what you wrote as an aspiration. You get in life what you have decided that you are not going to compromise on. So for my new standards that I wrote were no making huge plans and commitments, no daydreaming to get dopamine spikes, no phone notifications or distractions in my work blocks, no making relationships my mental peace. I realized that I was getting too overwhelmed and my mental peace was kind of disturbed. So I decided to detach myself and link my mental peace to Allah, link myself to Allah, and not get too bothered, you understand? No missing my 5 salahs just because I missed 1 salah, and no missing Surah Mulk at night. Before I used to read Surah Mulk at night, Surah Barakah, Surah Yasin in the morning, but then again, that's what I was saying, that I need a simple plan. We all need a simple plan for now, and then gradually we build onto that. I started reading Atomic Habits. I'm very late on this book, but it is helping me realize that start little by little. I was slacking in my studies and in my life so much, but after reading this book and after I got a pep talk from my dad, I started doing just 1 chapter a day, and I started giving a little bit of time to editing and a little bit of time to making those Quran tags for my subscribers. You guys have asked so much about it, but trust me, we are working on it. I have not forgotten about it. It's just a long, tiring process, but rest assured, be patient. It is going to come for you guys, okay? So now, since I started small, for the past few weeks, I have been consistent and disciplined toward everything. I've been sticking to studying every day. I studied on weekend. On a Sunday I studied, which was amazing because I started so small, such as reading just Surah Mulk at night. It's for safety from punishment of the grave. It's just my psyche. I'm really scared of the grave. My 4th new standard was that I made a balanced plan, a balanced routine for studying, for content creation, for our health, because I just realized that these are my new standards for moving ahead in life. My 5th new standard was establish weekly check-ins with myself, establish morning and evening routines for a balance with my goals, but not those hectic, jam-packed morning and evening routines. This time I made it really simple. I do basic important things that I know I need in my life, things I cannot compromise on. These are my non-negotiable. Example, stretching, gua sha, Surah Mulk, facial exercises, fennel seed drink, which I started drinking in the mornings, which is a sunnah detox drink, by the way. I did this right. I made a list of few non-negotiable which I know I really need in my life, and yet it was starting slow, starting small, starting simple, and I basically just chunked half of it in my morning routine and I chunked half of it in my night routine, and then I'm done for the day. I just need to do the studying, content creation, creating those Quran tags for you guys, or whatever side projects I have, and other things. I just have it chunked in my morning routine and in my evening routine, and then I'm done. I'm done for the day. That way, I even have Sundays free. I basically stopped giving myself the option not to, because it is just so simple that I cannot give myself the option not to. And you don't rise to the level of your goals, you settle to the level of your standards. So I do not settle on missing my Salah, I do not settle on missing my Surah Mulk. It's just below my standards. I know I need those. I cannot settle below that. I cannot settle on leaving my stretching. I cannot settle on leaving my facial exercises. I cannot settle on leaving studying. I cannot settle on leaving posting for you guys. I cannot walk over my Salah. I cannot walk over my Surah Mulk. It's just below my standards. And that's the mindset shift I made this year. And then execution. Simplicity is equals to success. Momentum is much more powerful than a big master plan that you never start. So, one actionable step at a time. For me, I wrote, start creating a balance between studying, content creation, and personal life. Leave your comfort zone, and once momentum builds on this alone, I will layer it with another focus area on top. Let this alone click first before you stack more on top. So whatever your actionable step is right now, start building momentum on that. And then once you have built momentum on that, you layer another focus area on top. Let it click first before you stack more on top. Lastly comes traction, because autopilot is going to be a death of you. Keep telling that to yourself. Autopilot is going to be a death of me. Autopilot is going to be a death of me. Autopilot is going to be a death of me. Keep telling that to yourself. Autopilot is going to be a death of me. Stay in motion, stay in rhythm. Ask yourself every morning and evening. Set a weekly check-in. Most importantly, I did this. Keep asking myself, did I read my Surah Mulk? Did I do my guasha? I didn't do my facial exercises. That's just a non-negotiable for me. I didn't read Surah Mulk. Well, that's just below my standards. I cannot fall below my standards. And then I feel like, ew, like, you know, how can I fall beneath my own standards? I feel terrible. So I get up and then I just do it, because in my head it's a different game this time, you guys. Because before, when I used to miss my Surah Mulk, or I used to miss my facial exercises, and I would just go to bed and I would be like, meh, whatever, I'm lazy, I'm sluggish, I'm not productive, it's fine. I would just scroll and go to sleep. But now it's no more like that. I can't look at myself in the mirror and not think that I just fell beneath my standards. It's a different game this time. I look into myself in the mirror and then I'm like, Asma, you just fell beneath your own standards. तुम गिर गई अपनी नजरों से. तो मैं मजबूर होती हूँ वो काम करने पे जो मेरे non-negotiable हैं. And then lastly, I want you to write some solutions and active cures. Minimum 1, maximum 5. Some basic solutions and active cures to change your life right now. If you are unhappy with your progress, then to bring an active change, a practical change. So you are going to write 1-line cures and number them for me. I wrote, I will jump out of bed as soon as my alarm rings, no thinking. And alhamdulillah, it has worked. Number 2, prepare everything in advance, so no decision fatigue. And I would say, alhamdulillah, it has worked again. Number 3, have my day planned so that I have no, again, decision fatigue and no distractions, no overthinking. Number 4, get healthy and fit. Tiny changes at a time build momentum and compound habits. In terms of health and fitness, I have started doing a sunnah detox drink every morning, facial exercises, stretching, guasha, trying to eat clean every day. So as I told you, I have chunked half of the things in my morning routine and half of the things I've chunked into my evening routine. So I don't have to think much, I don't have to do much. I just carry out my morning rituals, evening rituals, and I'm done for the day. As I said, build momentum and compound habits that are going to stick around in the long run. For my last and most important active cure, I made a small and simple tracker for my Salah and Baraka. Literally, I just named it Salah and Baraka. Nothing complicated, no complicated du'as, just 5 daily Salah and my morning Baraka. Things I would read in the morning and evening, or even during the day, surahs that I need for a specific need. And I would say it is much more active and actionable this time rather than being passive, because before it was passive. I need to do this dua, I need to do that azkar, and then imagine you end up not even performing your Salah. That really hit me. Long trackers even for du'as and azkar, and then imagine you end up not even performing your Salah. It's just like that. There is no barakah in time nowadays. I always say there is no barakah in time. How do days just go by, weeks go by, months go by? There is no barakah in time. So literally just name it Salah and Barakah, your 5 daily Salah and Barakah. I know it says Barakah, it straight just tells me that I really need it, bro. Make it so easy, simple, practical and realistic that it seems like, girl, you really need it. Make it so easy that you feel stupid for not doing it. I went through a declutter before I even did all of this paper, pen, deep, reflective, spiritual work. I went through a massive declutter, and it's just simple. If your space is not clean, your mind is not clean. And if your space is not working, girl, your mind ain't working, your life ain't working. So clean your space. I don't even get it that since when have I started accumulating so much of stuff over here. After decluttering all of this, I have a lot of stuff which I've taken out for donations. Inshallah, I will be giving it to people who really need it. So please do that. If you are decluttering your room or anything like that, if you are decluttering your home, take out stuff. I'm sure that you also have a lot of stuff that you have been hoarding and there is no use of it. So take it out and donate it to people, and just keep the important stuff. Reminder for today, just keep the important stuff that you really need in your life, and the rest of it, take it out. You don't need it, honestly. Like, I don't need half of the things that have been laying in my room for ages. I don't even need them. I just found these. I got these more than a year ago for my working out healthy girl era, and since then I have never used these. I have never. Okay, in a while that part is going to come up where we are going to make use of this and enter into my most healthiest version ever. I will make use of these, inshallah. We will make use of these together. A while ago, these trousers were trending so much here in SA that I got 3 of these. Like, randomly, out of the blue, I got 3 of these trousers in different colors, and since I got them, I only wore one color, and the other 2 colors are just laying in my cupboard since more than a year ago. And these trousers are not even in trend anymore. Like, these ones. Wider trousers are in trend, right? So I don't know what I'm gonna do with them now. I don't know how I'm going to wear them. I have no clue. So, lesson learned, no trend buying. I learned this lesson a very hard way. This is not just the first time that I wasted money on things that I don't even wear. So, lesson learned, you, no trend buying. Do you understand?